Valcour Island that you see behind me was uninhabited when Benedict Arnold battled the British fleet here on Lake Champlain. But in later years, as the lake became a highway for commerce, the lighthouse was built to safely guide ships on the lake. And as our Derek Muirden tells us, in recent years, a lot of restoration work has gone into preserving this lighthouse for the next century.
On an early summer morning, she emerges from the fog like a friendly ghost, marking the jagged shoreline as she has done by night and day since 1874. But time has been hard on the Bluff Point Light, wearing her iron, stone, and brick bones almost down to the marrow. Approved by Congress in 1870, a $15,000 budget went into constructing a blue limestone-based beacon that towers 90 feet above the rocky shore of the ship channel between Valcour Island and the mainland of New York State. An automated light on a steel tower, now home to nesting peregrine falcons, rendered the lighthouse obsolete in 1930. In the 1980s, Valcour Island, including the lighthouse, were drawn into the boundary of the Adirondack State Park. Ever since, the Clinton County Historical Association has worked for the light's preservation. In 2014, the state provided funds for a much-needed deep restoration. Oh, right on the beach, huh? So in the renovation, what was done?
Basically, everything red has been replaced. The windows have all been repaired. They have new copper flashing along the sides. We have a new standing seam roof that is weatherproof with a complete membrane below it to make it even more waterproof. The building now has new downspouts to carry the water down to ground level so it doesn't splash on the building and damage it. The building has secure screens anchored in place to make the building more secure. The chimney has been replaced with used brick to make it more authentic. Also has new copper flashing to make it watertight as it comes down into the building. The building now has a new cellar door that can be secured but still gives us access to the basement. The railing around the top has been completely painted and is now watertight secured to the floor.
And when you say painted, it was brushed and scraped and taken right down to metal first.
Correct.
Everything was done first class here.
It was done very, very nicely.
And it's going to last.
It will last.
Back in the day, the place was covered with lead paint and asbestos, both of which have been abated. Now it's just a lot more volunteer elbow grease using the sponge and of course a mask to keep that dust down. And soon, sooner than later, this grand dam of Lake Champlain will be up and running again. Don't forget the volunteers, without whose generosity over the years, the Bluff Point Lighthouse might have crumbled into little more than a footnote. And with the major restoration done, a little plaster, paint, and elbow grease now bring the final restoration into focus. Which begs the question, when do you hope to open to the public?
We'll open the first Sunday in July and every Sunday in July and August.
Every Sunday in July and August of every summer.
Of every summer.
So from now on, it'll be a great opportunity to come see this old gal, just like she used to look on day one.
That's correct.
Has it been satisfying?
Very.
The work?
Very rewarding. We have a great group of volunteers.
Admission to the Bluff Point Lighthouse on Valcour Island is free of charge, but contributions are always welcome. Oh, and getting there? That's left entirely up to the visitor. For Mountain Lake Journal, I'm Derek Muirden.